let me paint a picture for you. You have come up with a brilliant idea. You've been given an opportunity. You have received some kind of wisdom or insight in a dream, or you saw it and a piece of inspiration, and you thought, I should do something with that. And you start mapping it out, and you get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And then you leave it alone. And you find excuses why you can't do it. You find all kinds of things to distract you from doing it. And I'm not just talking about a phone, I'm talking about life. And then you sit back and you have figured out more reasons not to get started than more actions to actually get started. If this is you, come on in. Come on in, and I'm gently going to talk to you. I swear it's going to be gentle, because this is for me as much as it is for you. I have been gifted with some of the greatest ideas. I believe greatest ideas, because I'm just that kind of person. I just believe that I'm blessed by God to have the kind of mind I have, to come up with things or to see things a certain way. And I have to admit that sometimes, and maybe more often than not, at a certain period in my life, I just didn't make a lot of action towards things. I love to research, but a little bird told me research is just the way to delay the inevitable action. So I do love to research, because I love to learn things. There's a point though where I just go overboard with the research, and I get all into it, and I can tell you all these little unknown facts and all these things like that, different techniques and all kinds of stuff. And I share that stuff, but I don't ever take action on it for what I was researching for in the first place. And y'all, if this is you, just come in closer. Come in closer. And let me tell you, it is better for us to start right now than to delay. And I know you've heard about folks who die with dreams and all those things like that, and we don't want to be that person. However, we need to tackle some stuff. We need to get a hold of what's going on. I want to dispel a few myths that I think might be getting in the way. And one of those things is waiting for the perfect moment. Whether that is to have the right equipment, the right setup, the right room, the right microphone, whether that is to have the right paper, pen, pencil, whatever it is. There is not a perfect moment. Near perfect, perhaps, but even those are few and far between. But there's not a perfect moment. So let's not wait for the perfect moment. Why waste time on that? Instead, just go ahead and do it. One of the things I have said to myself about this channel that I have created is the fact that you are going to see me get better and better each time I put out a video. I am not waiting for the perfect moment. And yes, there will be some edits that look a little wanky, a little wonky, a little weird, but I'm going to get better at it. And yes, there may be some camera angles that leave you wondering, what was she thinking? The point is, there is this thing that we do that we think we have to be at the top level, and we don't give space for that starting block. You don't win the race without being in the starting block, and then you can't run it if you don't run it. So I'm saying, like, let's celebrate the weirdness and the awkwardness at the very beginning, and then keep building, keep getting better. Let's outdo ourselves each time and not wait for the perfect moment. And y'all, I'm gonna say this every single time I get a chance. If you're worried about equipment, if you're worried about all these different things, you can find a way around it so that it does not stifle your energy. Yeah, that's one. And it leads us into the whole thing around perfectionism. Like, choose not to be perfect. There are ancient civilizations that purposely put mistakes into their artwork in order to remind themselves that there is only one that is perfect, and that's God. So if you purposely put a mistake in your work, just to keep you mindful of the fact that you are not the perfect one, why not let go of this thing around perfection? I do like for us to strive for our level best. I think you should put out a good product every time. However, it should not be to the point that you over edit, you over analyze, you overthink things, and you never, ever put anything out. You never share. That's kind of stingy. And I know you're not a stingy soul because you're on my channel. You're thinking about it though, right? You're thinking about the fact that you have things that you have not shared because the fact that it's not right, it's not perfect. And of course, perfectionism and procrastination, I always say they are like kissing cousins, they are twins. And we can do a whole video on procrastination, but the thing about it is a lot of times we get overwhelmed with things and what to do next. That I was sharing with a friend not too long ago the idea of someone telling me to do something, and in my head I know that that's what needs to be done, but I'm breaking it down even further to say, but how do I even do that to do the thing that needs to be done? You get what I'm saying? So when we are overwhelmed with things, and this is another thing, that whole idea of being overwhelmed, a lot of that leads to the procrastination. It's not, and I know everyone has heard, it's not that you're lazy, and that's, you can unpack the reasons why you procrastinate. There are several reasons why you could be, and one of those things could be being overwhelmed with the idea of what's the first step. You got to make it simple enough for you to be able to take the first step. And if you don't know the first step, to be able to ask for help on, okay, I want to do this thing, but I'm not even sure what I need to do first. Break stuff down. I mean, it literally is that simple. Break it down. And if you don't know how to break it down, you get help from somebody who has done it before and is willing to help you as well. So that overwhelmed feeling of like, I've got to have this and I've got to do this, and let go of those things. And this whole process for us of getting started is really about letting go and trusting that the things that we need to have will be in place. And the things that we need to do, we will be able to do them. The main thing is for us to take a step towards doing it, because a body in motion stays in motion. And we know this. That's the law of physics right there. So why not put yourself in a good position where you say, I am intentional about doing this. This is the time, this is the day, this is the space that I'm going to do this in, and make the best of it. It doesn't matter if your whole house is clean or not, and you record in one corner, or if you have to leave the house to go to the library and work on your writing, but you write every day. The thing is that you are making the effort to doing those things. And so when we get rid of things like procrastination and perfectionism and waiting for the perfect day and perfect equipment and all those things like that, and we begin to look at, how to break things down in a smaller way, and we take action towards those things, you will begin to see that there is room to grow and room to experience it. Each video that I do, as I said, will be much better than the one before, and you're going to see the progress, just as I will as well. But you won't see it if I stay put and I don't produce and I don't share. And this is a hard lesson that I've had to deal with over some time, because my schedule and my life has changed drastically in a short period of time, as well as over periods of times where at 1 minute it seemed like I was right on top of everything, and the next minute it's like, oh my goodness, I got to do this too. Finding ways to manage your day-to-day operations, the things that are required of you, and giving yourself permission to pick back up and start again. Be gentle with yourself. Don't be so harsh about the fact that you still haven't done something. But do keep things around you that allow you to remember that, hey, you said this is important and you wanted to do it. And sometimes you do have to let something go to say that maybe this isn't really what you want to do, and you were just following what everyone else says. Well, you ought to be doing this or you ought to be doing that. Choose wisely. Use your time wisely. So you have 24 hours in a day, and if you are wise, you'll sleep at least 8 of those hours so that your body has a chance to rest and recover. And the rest of the time, think about it. You don't need 16 hours to do all the things that you say you want to do. Be intentional about the time that you're going to record, or you're going to write, or you're going to practice, or you're going to, study, whatever it is. Be intentional and let that be a non-negotiable. Decision fatigue. Sometimes your body is just tired, and it's hard to get started when you are feeling drained. So please Take time to make sure that your body gets the rest that it needs. Eat well, eat good foods, healthy foods, fresh foods. Huh? Stay hydrated. And that's not just drinking water. Eat fruits and vegetables that allow your body to be hydrated from their juices as well. Take quiet time. I love social media like the next person, and it's not that evil. However, it can be time consuming. Make blocks of time for you to rest and relax and slow down, as well as to be hyped up. Taking time to walk, all these things that we know are good for us, but we don't necessarily do them. And if I'm preaching to the choir, then you know what? Let's sing a second verse. But I think we all know this, and sometimes you just need a gentle reminder. And I'm happy to be that gentle reminder for you. So, the plan is to choose one thing this week. As a matter of fact, comment. Let me know what your one thing is. I want to encourage you along the way. What's the one thing that you're going to start? And when are you starting? Hey, you know what? When you starting it. What's the date that you're starting it? And it should be within this week. Because I said, why not start today? I'm giving you leeway by saying at least within the week or the following week, whenever you're watching this, if it's on the end of the week. My point is, choose one thing and at least start that one thing and let that get going. And if you feel like adding on a second, you do that. But choose one thing and allow yourself to fully engage in that one thing, releasing all your fears, doubts, worries, concerns, all those things. And just enjoy the process of the one thing that you said, I'm going to do this every day for the next how many days? It may be for a lifetime. It may be for a moment. You may say, I'm going to walk every day for the rest of my life. Okay. Put that in the comments below. I want to hear from you, please. And I look forward to hearing about what you're going to start next. Start today. Start now. You can do it. I know you can.